Brajesh, just to recap a little bit, we've been studying the Bhagavatam together from the very beginning, from the first verse. So, you're a little behind, but not so behind. It's not only the first canto. So, no problem. But where we're at now is Queen Kunti is praying. The Mahabharata war is over. Krishna has sorted out everything. And now Queen Kunti is going to lose the vision of Krishna. Why? Because there's no more calamities going on in her life. So she's just getting through a part where she's praying that, actually, I wish all those calamities would happen again and again, because in those calamities, you were there all along. Actually, we might have a similar experience on our life. When everything is going swimmingly, just as we like, we have no need for God. Oh, yes, everything's fine. This is going right. But all of a sudden, some calamity comes, and then we're saying, oh, Krishna, now I need to surrender unto you. This is the way it works. Actually, Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Prabhupada's guru, he says that the devotee whose path is beset with thorns is most fortunate. Why? Because in those thorns, in those calamities, there will be constant surrender to Krishna. You're with Krishna the whole way. So actually, in the devotee's life, if everything is going just fine and dandy, then you're not so fortunate. But if everything is calamitous, I don't know if that's a word, very fortunate, very fortunate. So anyhow, this is Kunti's prayer. She's been talking about the Lord as the ultimate controller, eternal time. Kunti has an Aishwarya relationship. All the Dwarkavasis have an Aishwarya relationship with Krishna, where they recognize Krishna as the supreme Godhead. But actually, this type of mood, it's necessary, especially in the beginning stages of devotional service. But the Vrajavasis, they don't have anything like this. They don't like to see Krishna as God or the all-powerful time and this, that, and the other thing. They like to see him as their sweet little boy, their sweet little friend, or their sweet lover. You know, the sweetness completely overwhelms and overshadows the Aishwarya nature. So, but Kunti and Arjuna and all the Pandavas and all of the Dwarkavasis, they have this Aishwarya nature. So, and it's healthy. That's why the Bhagavatam begins with this Aishwarya glorification of Krishna. And you don't get into any type of sweetness or madhurya until the 10th canto, much later on. So, this is, where we are at. We should understand the Lord's position, our position. We should understand when and where it's beneficial. Kunti was just saying, only those who are materially exhausted can approach the Lord. So unless you've tried so many things materially and you've been stifled at every step, that's the person that's going to be able to approach the Lord. So he's the property, actually, of the materially impoverished. So if you're materially impoverished, the Lord is your property. If you have all kinds of material things, you can't address him sincerely. He's the master of the monas, he's most gentle, he's self-satisfied. All these things are being mentioned by Kunti. And then we ended last time on understanding the Lord to be eternal time, the controller, without beginning and end. He's all-pervasive. He's equal to everyone in distributing his mercy. Even the bad reactions are the mercy of the Lord. We need to learn how to see that. It's not pleasant, but even when we don't get reactions we like in life, this is the Lord's mercy, because he's trying to push us towards something that's better, more wholesome for us. So he's actually equal. And the dissensions between living beings are due to social intercourse. So just by social intercourse, fight, calamity, it's bound to happen in the material world. Left side, right side, blue side, red side, doesn't matter. It's just bound to happen. There's no solution to any of it. This is, this is the material world. You'll never have a time of perfect peace and stability in the material world. That's in the spiritual world. So anyway, the Lord comes to sort out some things, but then he quickly leaves afterwards, just to show us where we have to go. He gives us this glimpse of wonder and amazingness, and then he's, all right, come meet me where you're supposed to go. And that's the path. That's our goal, our sadhana. Our sadhana is our means of attaining our goal, our practice. We chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. We offer worship. Why? Because one day we want to offer personal worship to the Lord. Where? Not here. back to Godhead, back in the spiritual world. So anyhow, Kunti is lamenting now, because when Krishna is there throughout all her calamity, she's in Godhead. She's back to Godhead already. Now, Krishna is creating this separation, and she's feeling a lack now, because he's about to leave. So she's praying like this. So anyway, we said Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, rock my respectful obeisance on the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. Now we'll chant some verses glorifying the Bhagavatam.
For reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very roots of content, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of God, Narayana. Unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasa.
Very good. Srimvatam Svagada Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Vedyantastoya Bhadrani Veduno Tisuditsatam. Shri Krishna.
Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses the heart of the material desire of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous and properly heard and chanted.
Yes, Srinvatam Svakata Krishna. Those who want to hear the katha of Krishna, this is who he'll cleanse the heart of material desires, which are causing us all of our problems. If you've got problems, it's because of your own desires. It's nothing else otherwise. It doesn't have to be a problem, but because you desire it to be elsewise, some way else, it's a problem. But if you regularly hear the katha of Krishna, the messages of Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna, this will cleanse the heart of all the material desires. And so what do you get? Ashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavata Yatamashloka Bhaktiva Yati Naishtaki.
By regular attendance of the practice of the Bhagavatam and the direct service to the Lord, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as a yoga.
Jai. So you remove all of your troubles, and what do you get in exchange? The seed in the beginning, and then hopefully the advancement of pure love. Exchange between us and God. And then that way we can actually share and receive love from all of God's living entities. I have not achieved such a thing. Actually, to be honest with you, I lament sometimes. So why can't I actually give real love? Why can't I actually emotionally from the heart let this prem come? But it's by the Lord's mercy, and I still have some removing of some things before that will happen. And so us too, but by regularly hearing the message of Krishna, by surrendering deeper, serving the pure devotees, like our acharyas, serving Nityam Bhagavata Seva, serving the Bhagavat by hearing its message and trying to apply it to our life, we're guaranteed this result. And I'm much closer now than I was when I started. But, I would like to get even closer. And the symptoms of that are pure ecstasy. The tears will come to the eyes when chanting the holy name. The hairs will stand on end. So many wonderful, they're called the Satvik, Ashta Satvik Bhavs will appear. But don't worry about that for right now. Let's just maybe hear the first canto of the Bhagavatam. Maybe some of the fruits will come in years to come. Let's read text 29. Naveda kaschid bhagavams chikirshitam Tave hamanasya nirnam vidambanam Nayasya kaschid dayitos dikarhichid Dveshyascha yasmin vishamamatir nirnam Na, does not. Veda, no. Kaschit, anyone. Bhagavan, O Lord. Chikirshitam, pastimes. Tava, your. Ihimanasya, like the worldly men. Nirnam, of the people in general. Vidambanam, misleading. Na, never. Yasya, his. Kashchit, anyone. Daita, object of specific favor. Asti, there is. Karhichit, anywhere. Dveshya, object of envy. Cha, and. Yasmin, unto him. Vishama, partiality. Mati, conception. Nirnam, of the people. Translation. O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human and are so misleading. You have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial. So Prabhupada is saying, the Lord's mercy upon the fallen souls is equally distributed. He has no one as the specific object of hostility. The very conception of the personality of Godhead as a human being is misleading. His pastimes appear to be exactly like a human being's, but actually they are transcendental and without any tinge of material contamination. He is undoubtedly known as partial to his pure devotees. But in fact, he is never partial, as much as the sun is never partial to anyone. By utilizing the sun rays, sometimes even the stones become valuable, whereas a blind man cannot see the sun. Although there are enough sun rays before him, darkness and light are two opposite conceptions. But this does not mean that the sun is partial in distributing its rays. The sun rays are open to everyone, but the capacities of the receptacles differ. Foolish people think that devotional service is flattering the Lord to get special mercy. Factually, the pure devotees who are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord are not a mercantile community. Meaning we're not trying to do business with God. All right, I'll do this. Let me do this offering. Let me do this amount of seva. Let me do this amount of rounds. All right, now give me what I want. But we're so stupid that this is what we think will happen. It's not a mercantile exchange. A mercantile house renders service to someone in exchange for values. The pure devotee does not render service unto the Lord for such exchange, and therefore the full mercy of the Lord is open for him. Suffering and needy men, inquisitive persons, or philosophers make temporary connections with the Lord to serve a particular purpose. These are the four initial types in the Bhagavad Gita who approach the Lord. When the purpose is served, there is no more relation with the Lord. A suffering man, if he is pious at all, prays to the Lord for his recovery. But as soon as the recovery is over, in most cases, the suffering man no longer cares to keep any connection with the Lord. The mercy of the Lord is open for him, but he is reluctant to receive it. That is the difference between a pure devotee and a mixed devotee. Those who are completely against the service of the Lord are considered to be in abject, I gotta Google that word, abject darkness. Abject, it might be complete. Something bad experienced or present to the maximum degree. It is like maximum complete darkness, but also emphasizing that it's very bad. Those who ask for the Lord's favor only at the time of necessity are partial recipients of the mercy of the Lord, and those who are 100% engaged in the service of the Lord are full recipients of the mercy of the Lord. Such partiality in receiving the Lord's mercy is relative to the recipient, and is not due to the partiality of the all-merciful Lord. When the Lord descends on this material world by his all-merciful energy, he plays like a human being, and therefore it appears that the Lord is partial to his devotees only. But that is not a fact. Despite such apparent manifestation of partiality, his mercy is equally distributed. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, all persons who died in the fight before the presence of the Lord got salvation, without the necessary qualifications, because death before the presence of the Lord purifies the passing soul from the effects of all sins. And therefore the dying man gets a place somewhere in the transcendental abode. Somehow or other, if someone puts himself open in the sun rays, he is sure to get the requisite benefit, both by heat and by ultraviolet rays. Therefore the conclusion is that the Lord is never partial. It is wrong for the people in general to think of him as partial. Let's chant, glorifying gurus. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishnam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakambitanscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhani Sute Devi Pranamami Priye Panchakalpa Tarubhishcha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Shivaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashya Deshatarine. So, some people might think, oh, the Lord is partial. Oh, you're a devotee, so the Lord's going to give you special mercy. But for me, it's not giving mercy. I have to do this, that, the other thing, and the other thing. No. It's only, the sun is equal to everyone. It gives its rays upon everybody. But some people are maybe standing in the shade. Some people have willingly blinded themselves. Some people are hiding in a cave. There's no way the sun can get in like that. The sun is ready to shine upon everybody. The mercy is there. But who will actually go out and stand in the sun and receive the mercy? So this is what ultimately we're trying to do. We're trying to hear, to take time out of your day, out of your morning, to go stand in the sun. This is what the Bhagavatam, there's a verse that's mentioned, I forget, I think it might be like the third or fourth verse of the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam is compared to the sun that lights the darkness in this Kali Yuga. So this is, what we're doing. We're going and sitting in the sun and we're hearing the pastimes of the Lord, the teachings of the Lord, we're hearing. And guess what? We're getting the mercy. It's available to everyone. We invite everybody to come to our programs. I text like 400 plus people every time we have a program. Maybe 10, 15 will come. Who wants to go out in the sun? But the thing is, people are committed to hiding in the darkness. People are committed. No, I'm going in the shade. Let me stand behind the tree. And yet then they look, oh, how come that person is getting mercy? Oh, why am I not? Oh, woe is me, woe is me. Yes, woe is you, because you cannot just get up and go stand in the sun. That is woe is you. You have every facility to stand in the sun. We're here every day, trying to stand in the sun.
Here comes the sun.
Yes, here comes the sun. But who will stand? So this is Kunti is acknowledging this, saying, oh, some are, because it looks like he took sides. Oh, you were merciful to the Pandavas, but why not the Kauravas? He tried every step to guide the Kauravas to do what they wanted. But why? Because they were committed to an adharmic. They were committed due to their own lusty desires for objectives against the will of the Lord. His mercy is to punish them. And His mercy, if you're getting punished, is to punish you. That's His mercy, actually, so that you know not to do this, not to do what you are contemplating or what you've been doing. But the sun is there. He's ready. He's giving the mercy. It's just how the mercy looks for you is up to you. The sun's mercy in the form of being cold in the shade is one thing. But if you just take a few steps, all right, let me go stand in the guidance and the direct sunlight. You'll be warm. So anyhow, this is our unfortunate position. But we don't have to be in a unfortunate position. So what are we requested to do? Shrinvatam Spakata Krishna. Just hear the messages of Krishna. Hear. Immerse your consciousness in Krishna. So we chant Krishna's names. We hear Krishna's pastimes. We do sevas for Krishna and his devotees. And like this, we'll make advancement. And the sun will shine more and more, and we'll take more and more steps out of the shade of material darkness. Your lusts are not going to satisfy you. Your career, your job, your money, your wife, your husband, or it'll never satisfy you. Your children, it'll never satisfy you. What will satisfy you? The Lord and His mercy. And guess what? You might get a wife that serves alongside, wants to stand in the sun with you. You might get a child that wants to stand in the sun with you. You might get a job that will allow you to stand in the sun. No problem. All these things could be used to push you towards the sunlight, which is the Supreme Lord. But don't be foolish and think that happiness lies somewhere where it doesn't. The light of happiness, the light of love, this is the Lord. So go to the Lord. We're here every day trying to collectively do this thing. This is the Sankirtan movement, Harinam. The group glorification of the Lord and His Nam, His name, which contains His Rupa, His form, which contains His Guna, His qualities, which contains His Leela, His pastimes, all of these things. So let all of these things saturate your consciousness. And you'll always be in sunlight. There's never a worry. Even if the government of the United States deports you, even if the professor gets angry with you, even if you don't have the arrangement that you wish you had. It doesn't matter. If you have proper vision, you see this is the Lord's mercy. The Lord has some special arrangement for me. Let me serve the Lord anyway. So, this is our commitment. This is the nature of the Lord. He's not partial. He's wanting to give everyone the mercy, but many of us are actively trying to hide from the Lord. He's come, oh no, here comes the sun, let me hide in a cave. Very foolish. Janma karma cha vishvatman. Text 30. Ajasya karturatmanaha tiryan nirshishuya dasu taratyanta vidambanam. Janma, birth, karma, activity, cha, and vishva atman, O soul, the universe, ajasya, of the unborn, akartu, of the inactive, atmanaha, of the vital energy, tiryak, animal, nra, human being, rishishu, in the sages, yadasu, in the water, tat, that, atyanta, veritable, vidambanam, bewildering. Of course it is bewildering, O soul of the universe, that you work, though you are inactive, and that you take birth, though you are the vital force and the unborn. You yourself descend amongst animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering. So she's saying it's very bewildering. What need for you to do all these things? You're unborn, and yet you come and you take birth, just like, you're inactive, you have nothing, no karma to perform, but then you come here and perform activities. So this is very perplexing. Purport. The transcendental pastimes of the Lord are not only bewildering, but also apparently contradictory. In other words, they are all inconceivable to the limited thinking power of the human being. The Lord is the all-prevailing supersoul of all existence, and yet He appears in the form of a boar amongst the animals, in the form of a human being as Rama, Krishna, etc., in the form of a rishi like Narayan, and in the form of an aquatic like a fish, or the Matsya avatar. It is said that He is unborn and He has nothing to do. In the Shruti mantra, it is said that the Supreme Brahman has nothing to do. No one is equal to or greater than Him. He has many-fold energies, and everything is performed by Him perfectly by automatic knowledge, strength, and activity. All these statements prove without any question that the Lord's activities, forms, and deeds are all inconceivable to our limited thinking power. And because He is inconceivably powerful, everything is possible in Him. Therefore, no one can calculate Him exactly. Every action of the Lord is bewildering to the common man. He cannot be understood by the Vedic knowledge, but he can be easily understood by the pure devotees because they are intimately related with him. The devotees therefore know that although he appears amongst the animals, he is not an animal, nor a man, nor a rishi, nor a fish. He is eternally the Supreme Lord in all circumstances. So this is an understanding of the Lord's position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, transcendental to all material conditions. But he comes and he exhibits his greatness and opulence in the form of an animal like Varaha, in the form of men like Rama or Krishna or Balaram, in the form of sages like Naranarayan Rishi, in the form of aquatics like the Matsya avatar. And it appears very bewildering because we are looking at everything in bewildered consciousness. Everyone in the material world is in the darkness of ignorance. Only by good fortune somehow you get knowledge of the Lord. Only by good fortune. The Lord's mercy somehow has reached you. You are somehow sincere enough in some way. You had what's called bhakti sukriti, where something that you've done pious enough in the past has made you eligible to receive the mercy of bhakti, which is always shining. Bhakti is shining, it's available there for everyone at all times. But who actually is a good receptacle to see? The blind man is not a good receptacle to see. We were talking about Bhagavad Gita last night. The lamentation that Dhritarashtra is blind. And even though he had so much good advice, everything, due to the lusty desires that he had, and the inability to give them up, and the inability to accept the Lord and the proper way that the Lord is illuminating to him, he was committed to following his desires otherwise. This is a lamentable condition, and Dhritarashtra is not alone. We're all like Dhritarashtra to some degree or another. We're all like Dhritarashtra. We don't want to just accept the Lord's way, the Lord's path, the Lord's devotee, the acharya leading the way for us. I'm like, no, I'll figure it out. Yes, you'll figure out a way to get your perfect karma and the Lord's mercy in the form of chastisement. That's all we can figure out. No problem. The Lord has He's got all the necessities you need. But don't be like Dhritarashtra. Be the proper receptacle. And then, we can fully feel the Lord's mercy. And not be hiding in a cave. Where is the Lord's mercy? He's right out here. Come. I'm showing you. Regularly hear the Bhagavatam. Regularly associate. In order to do any of it, sadhu sangha. You must come with the devotees and hear. You must hear from more advanced devotees than yourself. If I just sit here and if I don't reach out and if I don't collectively hear from more advanced devotees or take time to connect with more advanced devotees, I will not make very much advancement. You must hear from more advanced devotees than yourself. So come, we have set up this place just for that. You guys are here almost by force, but by arrangement too. Brajesh, we're inviting you, come. Be part of this in a more, steady, naishtik way. Please, it's for your benefit. And ours, everyone's benefit will be. The more people who are ready to walk into the light and help shine that light to the others of this world and help guide others into the light, this is necessary. So by good fortune, Piyush had encouraged you yesterday to come. And now by good fortune, you've come again. So please keep coming. Tanmay, continue on. Parth, carry on. Michael is probably carrying on with his father. So anyhow, this is what we should do. We'll have a shorter class today because the next purport is decently long, and we started late. So, in conclusion, the Lord is not partial. He's ready to give you mercy as much as He's ready to give anybody mercy, even His pure devotee. But the pure devotee is intelligent because the pure devotee is always dependent on the Lord's mercy and seeking it out actively. But the foolish us, we're trying to do business with God. I want this thing to be fulfilled. Oh Lord, here I am. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm waiting for that job, dear Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This is what we do. This is foolish. This is not why we're here. What? Yes, yes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. And in the consciousness, I need more money, money.
Even it's like subtle.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes, yes. This is our foolish condition. But go to the Lord's mercy. So sadhu sangha, you must have. There's no chance you'll do any of the other things without sadhu sangha. Go get guidance on how to more purely approach the Lord. And then in sadhu sangha, the emphasis will be nam sankirtan, the chanting of the holy name. Especially in kirtan, when we can all gather, we should run from our japa beads. And immediately, as soon as people hearing kirtan, we should run. Oh my God, let's go do kirtan. This is very good. Go do kirtan with the devotees. Even this is sankirtan, the glorification of the Lord via the Bhagavatam. And then Bhagavat Shravana. Hearing Bhagavatam, it has to be from a person who's realized. That's why we read the purports. If I just hear him like, I think this verse means this. And if I'm not taking the guidance of Srila Prabhupada, who took the guidance of Vishwanath Chakravarti, who took the guidance of Sanatan and Rupa Goswami, who took the guidance of his Guru Maharaj, and so on. If we don't take guidance, then the Bhagavat Shravana will be very limited. So if you just read the Bhagavatam yourself, or you just read the translations yourself, you won't get the full thing. You'll get something, but not everything. Not, archana worship, enthusiastically worshiping the Lord. When the arti begins, it's actually an offense if you're nearby and you don't observe the arti. Oh my God, arti begins, I should run. See the arti of the Lord. Arti, the offering of prasad, everything, the deity worship should become prominent. The offering of some flowers, something we're doing every day. Coming, seva to the Dham, maybe traveling to a holy place, getting the blessings of the sadhus, the saints there. Really going to pastime places of Krishna, traveling there, doing parikram. Immersing yourself in the pastimes and the valuable messages and lessons. This is very important. At the very least, you can all come to your local temple, because that's where these things will be present. Some of you have moved in here. This is very intelligent of you. So like this, and did I forget one? Sadhu Sangha, Nam Sankirtan, Archana, Bhagavat Shravana, and yes, Dham Seva. So like this, these 5 things are the most important limbs of bhakti. They're the final 5 limbs of bhakti mentioned in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or Prabhupada's translated Nectar of Devotion. You can learn about these things if you read these things. So please just take this mercy. If you don't have some books, take some books. Take the guidance of Srila Prabhupada. Don't just wait for us to read Bhagavatam to further your advancement in your study. You should take some time every day. And then yes, you have to do your duties. I know you guys have a lot of duties. But the more you offer to the Lord, and the more even you're willing to abandon your duties for the Lord's sake, He will reward you. Don't worry. He says this at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Abandon all dharma and just surrender unto me. Mamekam sharanam braja, aham tvam sarva papebhyo, moksha yishyami masuchaha. I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. Meaning you're not going to get a bad reaction from abandoning, not doing your dharma. Maybe you didn't do as many applications as your peers are doing. Maybe you didn't spend as much time in your schoolwork as some of your peers are doing. But you spent more time in surrendering more deeply to the Lord. He will arrange everything. The mercy is fine. Many people, they have to work so hard to get the same result that the devotee gets very easily. Why? Because the devotee, and that's not why we're doing it, because I want to get better results than everyone. I want to get more efficient results. I was very attracted like that, And I told you yesterday I was looking for a good deal, you know. Oh, this is, everyone else has to work so hard to get everything they want, and I can just fast for one day and worship the Lord. But this shouldn't be the emphasis. The emphasis should be on purifying oneself and standing more clearly in the sun and living a wholesome, righteous life under the guidance and service of the Lord. And with that, naturally, all mercy. You'll never be bereft of anything. You'll always have everything in abundance and more. We're seeing this. Look how much food comes to this place. Has any of you ever gone hungry? Yeah, only when we encourage you to go hungry. So this is what the Lord wants for you this one day. No, but look how much food He's just providing in every day. Why did you not make it yesterday?
What?
Did you not make it yesterday?
No, I haven't eaten, bro.
Oh, good.
No, he's like.
I thought Piyush was teasing.
Seeing the pain of not.
Yes. This is good. It's teaching us, ultimately what, the demands of the body. But we're not this body. So we have demands of, illusory consciousness pulling us. Yes, they're wanting to taste. Yes. So anyhow, I am really excited for you to try this dal today, Tanmay.
Oh, you want the video?
Yes. So anyhow, this is inside jokes in the ashram. Anyhow, it's available for all of you. It's available for all of your friends. Piyush did something very nice yesterday by reaching out to one of his friends, and now look at the fruit. Now, Brajesh actually was a great friend and brought Piyush here for the first time. And even though Brajesh went off, his life was continued living. He benefited Piyush so much, so now it's coming back around, and Piyush is now pulling him back into the ashram and Krishna consciousness. And who knows what the future looks like for Brajesh. We have another boy who was here for a long time, but he also took a year, explored this, that, and the other. But now he's back around, and he's coming back. And so all of us, we're in and out of the sun throughout our lives. We go to the sun when we need something. But don't do that. Don't be like the businessman. All right, Lord, I'm ready. And behind our back or in our heart, like, you're going to give me this thing, right? No. Why? Why we do like that? Do it out of love, out of sincerity. Because this is the proper thing to do.
I think Krishna rewards in installment so that you don't become too pompous of what he is giving, and you have this tinge of skepticism so that you cultivate more shraddha till you, or he will reward you for sure, but he will not reward you on your timeline.
No.
You are asking for.
Well, if he rewarded you.
Chanting or like setting deadlines. Krishna, I'm chanting 16 rounds for like a week now. Now I want this job interview to come along, or I got this money to be carried away from me. Something on those lines. But Krishna delivers, but he delivers on his terms and his timeline.
Yes, well, he has to deliver in such a way that you don't run away. Because if it was just easy, you would just chant, I'll chant one round, and then you have everything you desire. You're like, oh, very good. I'll go do all my nonsense until I'm in trouble again. Yeah. And then you get in trouble. All right, one round. Very good. We're cheating. We have the cheating propensity. We don't want to be sincere.
I think the best chanting I did was, what I can recollect is like last year when we used to go on hikes and we had to strive for an hour or 40 minutes. So that I do chanting right now, but when chanting is very fresh and you are feeling the vibrations of chanting, you can see the difference very prominently. Yes. in your life, and you can see, okay, this was this and my mind is like this right now, and because of these 40 minutes what I did, it does make an impact. But when you and back then it was not associated with some desire. It was mostly for the sake of chanting. We were chanting for pleasing Krishna, and when it becomes a routine, you really lose track of why you started.
Yes.
It becomes very difficult to.
This is a very
desires, because now you know that it helps you, so you try not to think logically or with consciousness that you want something, but back in the mind subconsciously the desires are clinging with chanting, and they do come up when you are vulnerable and when you're not paying attention. They are like, oh, I really want this right now, and I have to chant hardly. That's where the attachment grows. And
Yeah, you notice actually, in the beginning, there's a phenomena that in the beginning when you approach Krishna for the first time, maybe in a lifetime, you're quite offenseless. You're approaching Krishna in a sincere way. But after time, you associate with Krishna for a while, you associate with his devotees for a while, you associate with the holy name, the experience of chanting. The conditioning will bubble up again, and now you start to take Krishna, his name, his devotees, everything for granted. And then the work comes to remove all those things that are getting in the way of that pure chanting that you were experiencing in the offenseless state. So this is sadhana, and this is the process of called anartha nivritti, the removing, the renouncing of these anarthas, or these unwanted things that are getting in the way of you, as Kunti was saying, standing in the sun. There's some obstacles that, this large thing is in my way, let me stand out of the way of this. Envy, let me stand out of the way of this. This thing, that thing, the other thing, greed, lust, all of the deceit, all of the things that are standing in your way. So anyway, we can't go any further because I know Parth probably has to get to school, and Brajesh, I don't know your schedule yet either. So we'll end here. Thank you guys. Hare Krishna. Good reflection.